Hey everyone! Welcome back! I am back today with more Mob Psycho 100. You guys, I am really excited. If you're joining me early today, you know what it means. It means you are one of my awesome patrons. Thank you so much, and as always, I'm sending you up those big old hugs right through that screen. And if not, still thank you for joining me today. I'm glad you're here. I do hope you'll consider supporting me that way. The link to my Patreon is going to be in the description down below. So last time on Mob Psycho was pretty crazy and a lot of fun. I almost forgot to mention in my outro for the last reaction that the whole thing with the hair was just so funny. I saw like hair go flying when it happened, when you know, the hair accidentally got taken off of Teru's head. But man, just the whole like execution of it too, and like the look on his face, and like the way that voice actor was like doing that weird screech, it just all came together so well. It was so much fun. But we got some really serious stuff in the last episode too. You know, we've got this kind of like acknowledgement from both of the characters that, you know, they just kind of feel empty inside. You know, without their powers, what would they be? I personally think, I think Mob is being too hard on himself because he's really a good kid and he's trying really hard to like better himself in a lot of ways. You know what I mean? Like he's trying hard not to rely on his powers. He's trying to like improve his body, you know, but and he's, you know, really took that advice from Reagan to heart about, you know, not using his powers for harm. But I think the other kid has got a lot of thinking to do because he's basically just been using his, just like he just, you know, was saying he was like the most important person in the universe, and like, and it was all because of the insecurity, but like that's how he chose to use his powers. So I wonder like what direction he's going to take after this. Is he going to be the same like kind of, you know, rule the school kind of bully, or is he going to, you know, are we going to see kind of a shift from him as well? And last but not least, we got two huge reveals last episode. One was that Mob, when he was younger, had an incident with some older kids. He was with his brother and they were trying to like take their money, and something happened, and the next thing we know, there's like a bunch of people laying bloody on the ground, including Mob's brother. And when Mob confronts his brother about this later in the episode, he's like, oh no, it's, you know, one of the kids pushed me and, you know, you protected me. And we see him flashing back, and it looks like, I don't know what exactly was happening, but there's definitely more to that story. He's like, that wasn't my brother. At first I was like, did somebody else intervene? And there was another, but I don't know. I think he just meant like whatever had happened to Mob was not in control, because that's what we saw in the episode when Mob was fighting the other kid. He just gets to this point where like he did not hit 100%. He was straight up passed out. I think he had been at like 75% or something, or 80%. Passed out, wakes up as some kind of other being, and is like an unknown percent. So there's definitely more to the story. I can't wait to see it all unfold over the course of this series. So I'm really loving the show so far. I love Mob. I hope he gets over his cold soon. What do you say we get started with the next episode? Let's go. All right, you guys, that was so good. Okay, so Ritsu, I think, has some psychic power. I think, so we're seeing now that there are other ESPers, but it's just such a low level that like, but here's the thing, that would make sense that maybe Ritsu does have ESP, but it's just such a very weak level compared to Mob's, and like Teru's, that maybe he hadn't noticed it before, or maybe it only comes out during certain times, or maybe it's just now starting to come out. It would kind of make sense, you know, if like puberty had something to do with it. That wasn't the case with Mob, but that doesn't mean you know, we don't know enough about how this works to be able to say like when and how it's going to happen for each person. So I got a little confused, and I thought that I thought the guy with the research facility did think that it was Ritsu, not Mob, but then like I realized because that thing he said about like your brother, but he was talking about don't be like Ritsu, I think. And that's why he was like, oh my god. Or maybe I had that backwards, I don't know. I couldn't really tell. But in essence, he got to meet some other people with psychic abilities and possibly kind of discover his own. I think he would not be able to see Dimple if he didn't have something. And he crumpled the spoon. So it was interesting to take a little break from kind of the main story about getting to know Mob more and more to sort of like focus on his brother a little bit. So I really liked the fake seance. That was so much fun. He was like trying to do like an accent to make it sound more like an American person. That was really fun. I enjoyed that. But yeah, we kind of like did more focus on Ritsu, Mob's brother, in this one. So now I kind of get why he feels so left out with the powers. Because initially when I found out that like Mob could just like had this like whatever is going on inside of him going on, I was like, why would anyone be envious of that? Well, it's because I think he felt like he definitely was going to get them, and then when like nothing happens, you start to feel like, why didn't I, like, what's wrong with me? Why didn't I get the powers too? Like, if you're related, then you should, I guess that's how it works, you know, if they typically run in the family. So now I'm curious as to who in their family, who else had it. But I think he does. I think it's pretty clear he does have something. But you know, it was just like a very sad little look at how, you know, those tough days, we've all been through them, of like self-discovery, and in a lot of cases like you don't even get to like discover yourself, because there's, you know, you're just kind of hit with a label early on, and whether it's like you're the good kid, you're the bad kid, you're the kid who has to do everything, you're the you know, it can really stifle like your own sense of self and who you want to be. And we can see that Ritsu definitely doesn't like fully identify with like being the good kid, the kid who's like, no, he wants the abilities, but I also feel like he doesn't want to be like shoehorned into that kind of like, okay, mold, you know. Interesting stuff. I love that like we just keep like slowly world building and building characters and everything. So now that we know he has some abilities, I'm really curious to see where we go from here. Also, Dimple is back. I knew he wasn't gone. I knew they weren't gonna like take him out in like 2 episodes, if he's in the credits. Although you never know. Like maybe they would. I don't know. Oh, it was so much fun. I love how it's like fun and funny, but there's a lot of clever world building and a lot of like surprisingly deep character building too. It's, you know, I had the same thing with One Punch Man, where like it's all funny, but like sometimes you get some really profound stuff as well. So it's just a good blend of all kinds of different things. So, all right, you guys, I'm so loving this show so far. I think I'm about halfway through the first season now, which is crazy to think that I'm already that far. I think the first season is 12 episodes. If not, just disregard what I'm saying. But I'm so enjoying it. I had a blast with this episode. I hope you did too. Thank you so much for joining me today. Please be sure to join me next time, and we will watch it together. Bye for now, guys.